You know what's
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another Sunday Live. Tonight, we're going to be talking about consignment selling with Tonya and Heather. So, Tonya, you want to say hi to everybody?
Hi, everybody. I'm Tonya, also known as Thrifty Treasures here on YouTube.
My fault.
And thanks for having me.
Heather?
I came up with a name.
You did? Let's hear it. Is it Mrs. Fireball?
You know what? I have never even tasted Fireball. But no, I was thinking Heather's Haberdash.
What does Haberdash mean?
Haberdashery?
Yeah, Heather's Yeah, that's what it was. Heather's Haberdashery. A haberdashery was a store to get sewing notions at back before like Woolworths came and took everything over.
Oh, okay.
It was a dealer for dressmaking and sewing.
Haberdashery?
Haberdashery.
Haberdashery.
I was thinking
Correct.
that sounds like it could be something catchy for Etsy, huh?
Oh, I love it.
Thank
you. I like it.
And I don't know what is my Etsy name?
I don't know. It's your thing.
Crap.
I don't know what it is.
Crap by Heather.
What? No, don't call it that.
No, she has a name. I can't remember what it's called now. So,
well, hopefully there's nothing in my store right now since we're not paying attention.
And of course, I have Dwayne here, and Dwayne will be leaving 15 minutes before we are over because he does have to host the reseller six-pack tonight.
correct.
So, and you know Tanya's on that show tonight. I don't think she's taking a week off yet since it started.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think I have either. I think we're the only two.
Yeah.
Because everybody else was taking at least one day off. Even Lonnie, when he went to Disney World or whatever.
See, and you give me crap when I tell you that you're teaching the lesson. But you two are serious enough to think it's church for you guys. Never skipping a Sunday.
I think it's more that we just don't have a life on Sunday evening. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, we get invited over anywhere for pot roast and mashed potato.
Oh, that sounds so good.
You know that. Because for anyone who went to church, like your mom would always put the pot roast in before you go.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. And when you go to church Mormon style, you are there for a really, really, really long time.
yeah, it's a 3-hour stretch right in the middle of your day. So.
Yep. And so when you get home, you are ready for pot roast and potatoes and carrots.
All right. Well, I'll start with Heather since she admitted that she actually works for a consignment store. Why don't you give us a little bit about your experiences of how long you worked with them? And when you came in, you told us that you were not the owner, and you could tell us what not to do.
Yes. I learned everything what not to do. Now, I would say for consigning, because I've worked retail for many years and then was doing consigning. And so I was thinking of good things and not so good things when it comes to consignment. Now, I worked at a clothing store. So a good thing about that is people could come in and spend $100 and walk away with a big old pile of clothes. And so that was cool because, they could get really excited over like, oh my gosh, I got all these clothes. This is wonderful. That was great. The downside would be that when it's retail, you pick and choose what you're going to put in your store. And when you consign, it's more of what you have to choose from what people are bringing to you. So that can be hard. And then another thing would be if you're working retail and you're working with like sales reps from companies, you know, those are professional people who are going to come in and be all excited to sell you their stuff. Whereas when you have consigners, they can be challenging. And it's really up to you to keep the situation professional, because your consigners are not going to behave professionally necessarily.
So the place where you worked, was it like just all adult clothes, or was it a kids clothing consignment?
It was plus size women's clothes.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yes.
I love that idea.
An employee bought the store, and she's slapping up a fresh coat of paint and rethinking the business model and going to open up the doors at the end of the month, she's hoping. And so, yeah, it's a great idea. Ladies loved being able to go in there and not have any kind of body shame going on, because it was just all plus size ladies.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
And
You know,
then
I was going to say, one of the things that I noticed when I was there a couple times is that the ladies will come in and, you know, to consign clothes, and a lot of them have lost weight. And so that's a big, you know, that's a way for their self-esteem. They're like, I get to get rid of my bigger clothes, and then I can get smaller clothes. So that was always, every time I went in, somebody had always come in, and that was one of the, you know, the stories that a lot of people seem to have. So
yeah, that's great.
yeah, that is one thing you really got to know. People like the excitement of losing weight, or I put on a few pounds.
Yeah, gain some weight.
It's like, it's okay, it happens. And so you really get to know people that way. And then we even had a few cross dressers.
Okay.
all of a sudden it's quiet, crickets.
In fact, the past owner was a cross dresser. So
Yep. So I think Tonya might have froze, unless she's really trying to hold her tongue there.
Is she frozen in time?
I think so. I think, you know, you say cross dressers, and all of a sudden, poof, she's gone. She has nothing for that.
Oh, look, she's back.
There she is.
I've been having issues with my internet service. I don't know what is going on. I'm sorry.
See,
I'm so sorry.
nothing scares Tonya.
No. So, but okay, from a reseller point of view, I think one of the, and Tonya would probably be the best to speak about this, because she's probably done it. I think one of the best ideas of it is that it's kind of like, you know, FBA, where you don't have to handle your inventory, right?
Right. Yeah.
You just take it there, and they sell it and give you money later.
And we just lost her.
So anyway, from a reseller point of view, I think that's one of the main draws of a consignment shop, is that you don't have to handle your inventory. It goes to them. They do all the work. They market it, do everything, sell it, and you know, you get your share of the money. So, are you here again, Tonya?
I'm so embarrassed. I don't know what is going on. It just literally just booted me off.
I know, we're sitting here talking all of a sudden, bloop, there she goes.
So what kind of consignment stuff have you done, Tonya?
Okay, well, I have been doing consignment with clothing probably for 10 years or more at this little church-ran consignment shop. And so, like, whenever I bring things, you can only bring things in on, excuse me, Tuesdays and Fridays, and it's only 10 items. Are you guys there? Are you locked up?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Sorry. I guess I should move once in a while.
So yeah, Tuesdays and Fridays, and they're really strict. It's like only from 10 to 1, and you can only bring 10 items at a time. So whatever I am bringing, I always try and make it, you know, quality stuff. They really like the clothes. I seem to do well with the clothes more than like the home decor and the shoes and stuff like that. But like, yeah, I mean, I'll go to garage sales and pick up clothing, nice clothing for $1. And if it's not a brand I'm real familiar with, or I know I won't get really big money for, I'll definitely take it to the consignment shop.
And what are the percentages?
It is a 50-50 split.
Holy cow.
Yeah, you know, I'm cool with it. It's okay. I'm still making good money. I still pick up a nice little check every month. Not so much during the summer months because I've been busy with the kids and it's harder for me to get over there. But once they get back to school in a couple of weeks, then I'll be able to start getting back over there on a regular basis again and start collecting a nice little check every month.
That's great. Yeah, places don't normally do 50-50.
Yeah, what do you mean? Like it's more 60-40?
Yeah.
For the shop owner, for the shop.
Yeah.
Or even 70-30.
Yeah, I don't know that I would do it, but it's 50-50. It's good. So, but they don't really put a high price on their items. Like they're not going to put $20 on something. I think the highest they're going to put on anything would be, you know, maybe $10 or $12, and then you get the $6 from that. Like if they put 12. So.
Well, and then it's different too since it's with the church ran.
Right, and they're very particular about the brands that they will take. Like they have a whole list that they will not take. So they won't take like, you know, Morona from Target, Faded Glory. They won't take Sonoma from Kohl's.
They don't want the box stores.
They don't.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's actually nice. I mean that they have a list, because then you kind of know before you bring, you know, you bring 40 or 10 in your case, and they only take 2. It's like, well, it's crap.
Yeah, I mean, I've been known to have backup stuff in my car sometimes because when it comes to like home decor, they're really kind of picky about what they're going to accept, and something that I think somebody would pay $5 for, they might not. So I don't really just do a whole lot of home decor. I just kind of keep that stuff in my antique booth and, you know, hopefully blow it out during a big sale.
Well, there was a comment by Mike, the crazy guy, said, he was asking what percentage, and you already basically answered it. He said, where he goes, everyone wants 40 plus.
See, that's actually good. 40% is good. If the store wants 40, that's really good. Typically, it's almost always in the store's favor, because, you know, they're the ones having to do they're the ones with the overhead.
Yeah.
So yeah, if they're only charging 40 and you're getting 60, that's a pretty good place there.
Tonya, have you thought of talking to that consignment store and seeing if they'll put stuff on? Do they do eBay too, or is it just, do they just do the store itself?
They just do the store. You know, it's just little women from the church who are running the shop, and I have seen them do eBay printouts before. It seems like, I think it's that store. But a lot of the little church, when I say a lot, and I'm thinking in my head, there's 2 of them. The church ran thrift shops. They do the eBay printouts for some items.
So if you sell there, you know, give stuff there, do you actually shop there as well? I mean,
yes.
Kind of a thrift store? Okay, yeah. So,
honey, I can shop anywhere. Now, come on.
You probably don't really make any money. You just trade it for other stuff with them, right?
I found some good stuff at that store, you know, so it's definitely, you know, I'm dropping stuff off, but I'm also sourcing at the same time. So it's all
look
good.
at you, multitasking.
Yeah, because I was wondering how many stores out there, consignment stores, actually do their eBay stuff, because I noticed a lot of other people that actually take in items. Like when I first started the show a few years ago, we had Dana on. She does consignment where people literally bring her the stuff and she does it on eBay. So,
so she's the consignor, not the consignee.
Right.
Right? I gotcha.
So I've seen if that was what the store did, because if some stores do that too, they can blow it out 2 different ways. And you never know. They may auction out something and say, you want $5? Okay, we'll start it at $5.
Right.
And whatever they get, you get the extra, or they get the extra after the fees.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, part of the plus with going to a consignment store over a thrift store is my motto when I was working at the store was, we go through the crap so you don't have to. And because, you know, you make sure that everything you're going to put out looks nice. Whereas in the thrift store, as everybody knows, you got to look carefully.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, like, I watch them, and they were picky, but not real picky about. The old owner was a little less picky, but they were, you know, they would check for stains, check for wear, check for missing buttons, that kind of stuff. And that's the same stuff that we have to do when we go to the thrift store. So like she says, that's where they kind of make their money is they sift out all the crappy stuff and put up the good stuff. And then this particular place would donate the stuff that wasn't being consigned or didn't make the cut to a women's shelter or something like that. So
Right. Yeah, they're pretty picky. Like when I bring clothes in, you know, they want to make sure that all the buttons are buttoned up and
in season.
In season. Oh my gosh, that is such a big thing for them. In
Yeah.
season. Yes.
Yeah, they probably don't have any storage room. So
Yeah.
it goes right out onto the rack.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
a pretty
how
small shop.
long do they take it for? 60 days, 90 days?
You know, I'm not even really 100%. I think it's probably about, I would say it's about 60 days. And then after that, it goes 50% off.
Mhm.
And then after that, I think they donate it. I mean, you
Yeah.
could probably get it back if you want, but it's been so long since I, you know, arranged with them with whatever we were going to do. I just told them to donate it, or, you know, if it doesn't sell, just donate it. I don't want it back.
Easier. It's
Right.
easier just to donate it.
Yeah.
Some people want their stuff back, and then
Yeah, I
we
know.
tell them to come and look through and that they could come and find it, because it can be time consuming.
Yeah, that's a hassle.
Yep. Much easier just to donate it.
Yeah.
Well, Rhonda got junk in our trunk. Said there are shops where she is that pay the cosigners to list on eBay.
oh wow, that'd be nice. There you go. That's a side time gig there.
I don't understand. So now say that again slowly.
The stores that are in some stores that are in her area pay
Okay.
people to list on eBay.
Like the consignments that they receive?
Right.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
So it's not just walk-in customers, it's also on eBay?
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Asking about your stores, Tonya, because if you were to say you might be able to get a little bit more on eBay with this stuff,
Sure. That's
help them get more eyeballs on their stuff, so some of your stuff might get moving faster if you don't want it on your store. You know what I mean? It's like your stuff's
Right.
still on eBay, but a different without
Yeah,
your
right.
backing.
That's-
Careful what you say, Heather. Careful what you say. You might end up having to do this next week.
that seems really time consuming for the shop. You know, it could be it pays out, but that just would be a lot of work. They must have employees to take care of just that.
Lonnie had a question. He said, any tips for tagging stuff securely in consignment or antique shops to avoid tag switchers?
That's a great question.
Haven't figured that out.
What I do, like for my antique shop, I'm starting to use less and less of the tags with the string because they're so easy to yank off. So what I do is I use those white labels, like, you know, they're stickers sticky on the back, and I'll write all my information, the booth number, the price, then what it is, the inventory number, and then I will slap a piece of clear tape over that, like, you know, shipping tape over that. And that kind of takes a little bit longer to sit up there and scrape at that if you're going to try and take it off. And what my antique mall does is they like for you to write like a short little description of what the item is. So that way, you know, people aren't just switching tags around. At least it kind of says what it is on the item.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it really designates what it is on top with not just the price.
But yeah, the item description.
We had tags that asked for a brief description of what it was. And we didn't have so much of people swapping tags. Now I worked at a craft store back in the day that people would try swapping the tags, but you know, you get to know your merchandise and you're like, whatever, buddy. And but no, it was at the boutique I was at, it was more about theft. And so, you know, you just keep an eye out. And
One of the things one of the things that I just noticed that one of the thrift stores in our town or our area does now is they have the tag, but they also have a tag somewhere else. So there's a total of 2 tags. And obviously that if somebody switches one tag, all they do is when they get it, they look at both tags and process it through. Now a good a person's going to figure it out and be able to switch both tags, but that can be a quick stopgap, is just have it so that you have a tag on the outside and a little tag on the inside saying, hey, it's still $6.99.
Yeah, and I've noticed Goodwill does that too. Like they will put 4 stickers on an item. It's crazy. But another thing that Goodwill does, and I don't think they do this in Austin because I was checking things out and I didn't notice it. But down here in Houston, what they do at the Goodwills is they will write Roman numerals on the bottom of items. I cannot tell you how many times I've been at the antique mall and I'll pick up something I'm interested in buying. I'll look on the bottom of it and there's like 3 little lines. Well, that means somebody paid $3 for it at Goodwill, right?
Sure.
Yeah, they do that at the
smart,
Goodwill. So like, they have their little code. They'll write on with Sharpie.
Yes.
So there you go, Lonnie. You can put in place an entire new process where you reach sticker or have your own little code.
Or like put some kind of a hex on it so that if somebody steals it, they have bad karma.
You're so funny with all your stuff like that.
Because what's worse, right? You think you've gotten away with something and then bad things happen and it's like you asked for it.
Oh my goodness. So how much do you normally do, Tonya? I mean, do you do like 10 clothes every week, or do you do it like that, or do you just have a whole bunch at once?
Yeah, well, they'll only let you bring in 10 items minimum per day. So
minimum
like I said,
or maximum?
Yeah, I'm sorry, maximum. So during the school year, when the kids are in school, I'm usually there every Tuesday morning and every Friday morning dropping consignments. So 20 items a week.
Okay.
So, and if I do that, every week, that's, 20, 40, 60, 80 items per month.
So you're one of those.
Sure, and if you're making.
Yeah, all the ladies know me.
Imagine that.
Yeah. So, and I'm nice. You should be nice to those people, definitely.
You should be nice to everybody.
You should be, but I'm just saying, be nice, be respectful to your elders. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. How you ladies doing today? So
be professional.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
So then do you collect clothes at yard sales all summer and then during the school year take stuff in? Is that how you do it?
Not a ton of stuff, but if I find if I found a really good name brand coat or something, or like a whole bunch of coats, I would definitely pick them up and just throw them in my storage unit.
And so then, how do you where do you get your clothes that you take to the consignment stores?
The garage sales for the most part. Sometimes I clean out my closet a little bit and take stuff. And for a while there over the summer, Goodwill was running these sales to where on Sundays at noon, they were like whatever color of the week it was, they would blow it out for $1. And a lot of times I would be there at noon on Sunday and I would just have a whole bunch of stuff. And
so they do that on Mondays here, and so you got to be there like at 9 if you're going to get the 99-cent deals.
Yeah, but they stopped.
Dwayne and I show up in the afternoon, and the place is trashed, and we're like swimming through the sea, looking see if there's anything booked.
See, I used to go at 9 o'clock, but after throwing a few elbows and stuff, it's like I'm not that interested in a 99-cent shirt. Go ahead.
Right.
Yeah, it can be dangerous.
Tonya, have the ladies actually asked you to help out at that store once in a while? Like maybe help them price things yourself? Like, do they know you sell on eBay type of thing?
No, I've never told them that I do that. You mean like ask my opinion what they should put on something?
Yeah.
Like what kind of price? Oh no, they're very strong in their opinions. I mean, they know what they're going to put on something. I just kind of go in there, drop off the stuff, and get out of there. I stay out of their way.
They want zero input.
Do they mail you a check, or do you go to pick the check up, or is it a go right into your account?
Oh no, that would be great if it did. I just pick it up around the first of the month. I think they come out the first or the second week and of the month, and then I go just pick it up.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really great. And then let's see what else. Oh, do they do a computer system, or do they just all have all the information in their heads?
No, actually, when I go pick up my check, there is like a bottom part of it, and it actually says like what the item was and then what my cut is.
Oh, so it is all computer.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Very efficient.
Yeah, I wish I could go look online, but you can't. Like even for my antique mall or where I have my booth, you can't go look what you've sold. So if I want to know what I've sold, I've actually got to go up there. Like I know Chris, the Bonafide Hustler, with his antique booth, he can actually look online to see what he sold. That's so nice. Yeah,
I know that some consignment stores do that as a part of their whole computer program. And so you know what to prepare for.
Yes.
So yeah, I really liked working there for the most part. It was fun. And I think oftentimes consignment stores are small enough often that you really get to know your repeat customers.
Yes.
And your consigners. And then there's always the consigners that you see them coming and everybody hides.
Right.
Here comes that Tonya. You can draw the short straw.
All right. Well, listen, I'm not even going to front. There was one lady that works there, or that volunteers rather, and she can be a little crabby. And we've kind of had words before in the past, but now we're like really we're tight. Now we're okay.
Did you figure her out?
I figured her out, yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Sometimes people are they're just grouchy, and that's just how they always are. And you just have to know that your time with them is not going to be long, and you'll be able to get out of there. So,
yeah,
well, I don't have to live with them. So,
and then you feel sorry for their coworkers.
Right, right.
Mr. City wants to know. So, if asked already, usually will they contact you with offers?
The consignment shop will not, but the antique mall will. So they've called me before asking me if I would take a lower price on something.
Nice.
And I've always said yes.
Yeah, whatever. You don't care. Do it.
It's a sale. Yeah, do it.
Yes.
So now, did you read, I know it's been a long time, but do you read the contract that you do with the consignment store? I mean, obviously they have their own little rules set. How in depth was that? Do you remember?
Yeah, I think it's just like a front page, just one front page, and they just lay out their rules. And I think you just have to sign the bottom, and then they just keep it on file. It's pretty easy.
Do they have you take everything in on hangers?
Yes, yes. Everything has to be on hangers. But the great place about where I consign is they have a big bin by the front door, and you can take as many free hangers as you need. So lots of times if I'll drop off 10 items, I'll pick up 10 hangers on my way out.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. Another service and it serves both people, because then the consignment shop doesn't have 900 hangers in the back room getting all tangled up.
Exactly.
And it helps people that need to take hangers. So
we found that when we started requiring people to bring things in hangers, couple of things, because one thing is people would bring stuff in just smashed into garbage bags.
Oh no.
And so it would come out all wrinkly and not necessarily laundered. And and you don't look at something as closely when you're shoving it into a garbage bag as when you're hanging it up.
I agree. Yeah.
And so if you're taking the time to put on a hanger, chances are more likely that it's a worthwhile item.
Yeah, I agree.
Because, you know, you take your stuff to the Goodwill in a garbage bag.
Yes, I do too.
And so it's just, I think it's encouraging people to take more pride in the items that they're selling.
Yeah, I agree.
Tonya, have you ever thought about actually doing consignment to sell on eBay itself? Instead of doing a consignment store, like see if go around your area, have stuff for you to sell?
Absolutely not. I have so much stuff on my plate right now. You couldn't pay me to sell somebody else's stuff right now. I mean, you know, unless it was a big old bag of, you know, gold or something. But yeah, I stay pretty busy. But I think that's a great idea for some people, you know, who, especially if they're higher end clothing items.
I don't know. I've had people ask me to sell things for them, and I always turn them down because I don't like to mix business with personal.
Exactly.
Because there's always going to be hurt feelings. So I'll either offer to buy it from them, or I say I'll show you how to do it on eBay. You know, it's not hard. I'll show you how to do a quick listing, but I don't do consignment.
Yeah, I agree. You don't ever want to do business with friends. So
no.
Or two, you don't want to be the person that people brings a big old pile of crap to.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to work miracles with it.
Exactly.
Well, the way I'm looking at it though is if somebody, like we all know Mike Rowan Picker, he uses our auctions, or I should say the wage auctions, to get some of his inventory. So if he put out that he would do consignment for somebody else, he wouldn't necessarily have to go out and get stuff. People can bring it to him. So people in that situation where they can't get out.
Yeah. Just don't do it.
I'm not saying. Yeah, I'm not saying that it's you know, not a business model. I just say I don't do it. And like Heather says, if you're going to do something like that, you're much better off if you're doing it with strangers. If you're doing it with people that you know, somebody's always going to get their feelings hurt somewhere. It just always happens.
And I think eBay has, I think eBay has something, I don't know if they still do, but eBay Valet, right? Because I remember a long time ago, like before I even knew that everybody on YouTube existed out here, I had looked into that eBay Valet, and it's where, you know, you can sell stuff for other people. But I don't know if they do it anymore. Have you guys ever heard of it?
They still do it. Yeah, I've heard everything I've heard about it. Nobody likes it. It's like
me too. That's what I've heard.
There's only they set the price, not you. So,
and I've actually heard that their listing process, their listings are horrible. You know, that if you were to sell something, you make a nice listing. They just, you know, since it's not their stuff, they just plow through the listings. So it's not only do you miss out on part of the profit, but you're also not putting out there a good you know, product to be purchased. So that's just what I've heard. I have never done it, but everybody that I've said has basically said the same thing. You know, man, I looked at what I had on, you know, on the Valet and it looks horrible, or you know, something like that. So
right.
Hey, I'm trying to remember the story about, was it someone that their neighbors started listing the stuff in their yard on? So
oh my gosh.
was listing the neighbor stuff on to sell, something like that.
Like yard decor or something?
I think the clutter.
So the toilet planter in your neighbor's yard, just put that up on eBay, huh?
That's so funny. I saw a toilet on the side of the street the other day in front of somebody's house, and I actually thought, that would be a really cute planter. But yeah, my husband would die. No.
Well, I want to say hi to Flipper Joe, along with everybody else, Brian and everybody else that showed up. But Flipper Joe, it's the first time at my show, so glad to have you. Hope you're learning something from what we're giving you tonight. And if you have any questions, just go ahead and ask, and we'll try getting the answers in before the show is over. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, another thing too, like you said, about clothes being clean and seasonal, another even bigger, well, it's all important, is people would want to bring their stuff from like the 90s. And although some items like on Etsy can be considered retro, clothes from the 90s right now are not cool. They're just
not unless they are cool. There's
you
a
know,
distinct possibility that it is.
Unless they're concert t-shirts, they're just out of style.
A lot of time for sure.
And then like if you pre-80s, then it becomes retro for clothes. But seriously, who wants something that's been just collecting dust at the back of somebody else's closet just long, you know?
Hey, now there's some nice Tommy for your mommy. 90s stuff that people want, trust me.
Hey, if it has shoulder pads, forget it.
I know.
Don't do it. You know, those 80s into the 90s shoulder pads.
Yes.
That I used to cut out back in the day. And now, you know, it's like, no, don't, but with clothes, because there is a place in Salt Lake that will take pre-80s.
Okay.
But, and, you know, and that's how their business model is. But that's, but yeah, from like 1980 to 2015 in there, nobody wants it. Take it to the DI, or well, to the Goodwill. Press the DI. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
So Mike wants to know. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
Go ahead, Dwayne. You can read this one.
All right. Mike wants to know, do you guys ever consign other things than clothes?
Oh. Sorry about my dogs. Somebody must be at the door.
So do you do, other than, you said you do clothing mostly, but do you do other things, Tonya? And do you do other consignments to anywhere else except that shop?
Let's see. Well, I've dropped off clothing before at Once Upon a Child, but I guess that's not really consignment, is it? Because they just give you cash for your items and then you leave and you never see your items again.
That's great.
Yeah, and I do the same thing with the media too, like with the books and CDs and DVDs. I can take them to half-price books and they'll just give me cash. But as far as consigning goes, really just that one place now is really all I'm doing. I mean, there are some higher end places I could go to, but I don't really have a whole lot of higher end. And if I did have higher end stuff, I'd probably sell it myself, you know.
Yeah, there's a place here in Salt Lake that is the high end stuff, but again, we would just sell it ourselves.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any consignment stores around here, but if I'm already taking stuff from stores, I don't know how often I'm going to take a bus and try going back to another store just to hope to get money for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, Tonya should do another show on her books that she does. Because you mentioned books, and I'm like, how the heck do you know what books to get?
That's another thing. I've just been doing it for so long. I guess you just develop an eye for it.
That's great.
You know, I just always pick up anything that looks new, or scan rather. And sometimes I pick up books just to put in my antique booth. Or I'm so sorry about all the barking. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah, and you know, just scan everything. If it looks new or if it's a textbook, anything about, you know, like how to, like, and most of the fiction books are not really going to be worth a lot of money, right? Because they're so mass produced.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. So
now, do you have I think I've heard you talk about a place like Half Price Books or something like that, where?
Yes, that's where
you have something like that.
Yeah, that's where I take all my media stuff that I don't end up selling myself. So and like sometimes, yeah, I'll go to a garage sale, and if they got a bunch of really nice fiction hardbacks, I'll just buy them all up if I can get them cheap enough, because Half Price Books loves that stuff. I'm about to go yell at somebody about these dogs, y'all. Oh my God.
You have so many avenues around you for making money. That's great.
Yeah, I know. That was so much fun.
That's what Todd is saying. He's saying you have your finger in so many pies, and that you have so much going on that it seems like work.
Yeah. No, I enjoy it. It's fun. I love it.
And Mr. Sadie brought up about the back in the early 2000s when eBay had people started popping up with their eBay stores to do consignments on eBay.
Yeah, I remember those where you drive down the street and see, hey, bring your stuff here and we'll sell it on eBay.
Yeah, we had some here as well.
Yep.
Did eBay put a stop to that, or where'd those places go?
I don't know. I would imagine they wouldn't be too profitable. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
You're paying eBay the fees, plus paying rental to wherever you're renting, unless you own it.
Well, and you have to store it too, so.
Yeah, maybe they just burn themselves out due to lack of profit.
Yeah, and then having to pay for the office space, I would imagine.
Right.
And
well, and then I think people started realizing that it was just as easy for them to put it on, eBay.
Yeah.
The camera's not jumping around. Not that I'm complaining, but just noticing it's all just Tonya.
What?
What? It's showing jumping around for me.
It's jumping around for me. Whoever talks.
It's just I'm just watching you, Tonya.
May you accidentally
touch on me?
Oh, that's probably just you, dear. Yeah, it changes when people talk for me.
Okay, it was, and then it stopped, and now it's like I'm stalking Tonya.
Maybe you accidentally clicked on her to.
Yeah, so just because you're not talking doesn't mean you can pick your nose.
Okay.
Darn it! Yeah, better be careful.
Joe Christopher, who I think won a couple of your auctions last night there, Dwayne.
He did.
Said majority of his inventory is people walking in selling them the items.
So Joe, do you have a? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask Joe. Do you have a brick and mortar store then? Kind of like Pete, the Craigslist hunter. Do you have something where people can actually come in and sell things to you? I haven't really talked to Joe Christopher much, so.
I think the first time I saw him was yesterday during Nathan's show.
Yeah, me too. He has two. Okay, so that's awesome. Obviously, he's got a different two stores. Wow, a different business model than. There's a few people out there that have brick and mortar, but not much.
I really liked working. That's why I've told Dwayne that someday it's always been my dream to have some kind of a little shop, because he'll be like, let's get all pumped up and take pictures and put stuff online, and I'm like, yay. But if you give me the opportunity to meet new people, I love that.
But it's a big commitment. You got to be there all the time.
Yeah, huge. But that would be, I would love to do that though. Just as far as like what would drive me.
Like a resale shop?
I don't care as long as it makes money.
She just likes people. If you hadn't noticed, she's definitely the social one out of the two of us here.
I don't think you can say that with. You all act like you know how to make friends with your online buddies.
Well, they don't know me.
They don't know that you're friend deficient in real life.
Well, now they do.
I bet they guessed it because you're always talking to them. And they're like, man, why doesn't this Dwayne go hang out with real people? And then they think, oh, wait, I'm not hanging out with real life people either. So.
What? We're real life people. We've met each other in person.
That's
Come
true.
on.
That's true. Yeah, we met.
Yes.
See, we met all these people here.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, we're real people.
Have you two met, Tonya and Chris?
No.
No? So for all you two know, the other one's make-believe.
All right, we have a question from Silver Headstack. He said, so my question is, with so many profitable things going on, why is Tonya not a rich girl just playing reselling for fun now?
I have bills to pay too. I mean, I don't get to keep all of that money. Right?
Geez, why not? You need to talk with Kurt and, get a better cut.
Yeah, I mean, well, he pays all the bills, but I still have like my little credit card bills and stuff to pay. So, like my shopping credit cards and stuff.
Than that, I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah,
So,
I pay for.
so basically, this just does this fund the things that you want to take care of?
It does, and I also save a lot too.
Oh, that's great.
So, yeah, so
That's
you
really
know,
great.
we've got some things coming up, and we're going to be taking a trip to Disney in November with my mom and Madeline, just us three girls. So my son's a little bit too old for that now, and so you know, I'm going to be helping pay for, like, you know, the souvenirs and stuff Madeline's going to want, and some other small things. So
That's wonderful.
yeah,
That's really terrific. How old is your son?
he is well, he'll be 15 in October, so he's 14 right now, going on 18.
Oh, yeah, that would be so embarrassing being seen with your mom and your grandma and your little sister in public.
Oh my gosh, you have no
That's
idea.
absolutely horrifying at
Yeah.
that age.
I
When our
know.
oldest son was that age, he didn't even admit to having a family.
Yeah, and it started early, you know, like about 7th grade.
It's like, yeah, I don't know you.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
now he's going into high school. He's going to be in the 9th grade, you guys. My baby's going to be in high school. It's so
Oh,
crazy.
geez, see, you're so young. What are you talking about? He's not your baby. Madeline's younger than him.
Well, I mean, my baby, like my firstborn, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, see, and our firstborn's 24, married 6 years, and out of the house. So I
And we're
already want to hear it.
yeah, we're telling ours, asking them, where's those grandbabies?
That's what I was just wondering. I didn't hear you say grandbabies, Dwayne.
No, we have tried to talk him into having kids. You know, we've told the granddaughter, you know, here's a pin, you know, take care of it, but poke a few holes. But no, it hasn't happened yet.
No, we're all ready for grandchildren. It's just talking to him into it. And he has this idea in mind that he has to be ready. And I'm like, you're never going to do it then.
Yeah,
How old
never
is he?
been
He's
ready.
young. He's only 26. Let him have a good time for a little while.
But if you wait
24.
too long, then you're
Yeah.
tired.
You will get tired, but you know what? Kurt and I, we were married for 4 years before we had kids, and it was great because it kind of, you know, it gave us our time, and then when we felt the time was right, Dwayne.
Yeah, I was gonna. Dwayne and I have no idea what that's like.
But you're right. Oh my gosh, because I am an older mom, and it, you know, your energy just gets zapped.
Well, and your kids aren't going to be out of your house until you're, you know,
in my 50s, so
yeah, at least, yeah. So
Madeline, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why Dwayne and I want our kids to leave, because we've never had a time alone together.
right, I went from single to married with a child and a child on the way overnight. You know,
Yeah.
with one I do, I already had a family. So
Oh my gosh, listen, I was at Goodwill the other day. Imagine that. And Madeline was with me, and the cashier says, "Is that your granddaughter?"
no,
Oh, no,
She is lucky I didn't knock her out. Come on.
I would have said, yeah, and I want my senior discount. See, you could have worked it.
It's not like you're old.
I know.
No.
You're the same age as us,
Yeah,
right?
I'm pretty old, Heather.
What are you trying to say? I'm not old.
I actually forgot how old I was the other day, and Dwayne had to remind me.
Isn't Chris the baby? How old are you, Chris?
Yeah, I think
43.
42,
Ah, you're a
43.
baby.
The spring chicken.
Yeah.
That means that Dwayne's the old man.
Hey, why'd you have to go there? All right, guys. Hey, I've got to take off because I got to get the other show ready.
Well, you know, we're going to talk about you now.
You've already have been talking about me.
Yeah.
Me here. So.
Hey, that's one of our agreements. We never say anything about each other that we won't say to each other.
Right.
That's good.
So, don't forget, in 10 minutes.
So I'm going to bail off everybody. Have a good one.
Yeah, Dwayne. So he has the silver 6-pack to get ready for, which Tonya will be Molding on over to in a few minutes.
Yeah, he's going to do it on setting goals. And so hopefully this will inspire us to be better about that goal setting.
Right.
I know one goal is to make it to the reseller rally? Is that what, oh yeah, he wants to go next summer. And so I'm like, well,
yeah, we'd love to see you guys there.
yes. And that, it sounds like a lot of fun, but that's not a cheap weekend.
No, it's going to be expensive, I'm sure. I tell you what, we're definitely going to buy our airfare a lot sooner this year or this time. Yeah. We waited too long.
And the thing is, Heather, if you let the way and go to a thrift store and buy stuff while he's out there, you can write it off as a tax write-off for business.
Yeah.
Ah.
There you go. Yeah, when Dwayne does that anyway, like when he goes out of town for his work, he still goes thrifting in the towns he's in, because that's just his, he's always thinking over thrifting. I'm sure like the rest of you.
Oh, yes.
That is a major topic of conversation in our house.
Oh, yeah. We're going on a little trip next week, and I was like, okay, I'm going to be needing to stop by Goodwill and whatever else I see.
Well, we call it our romantic date night, you know, when we hit the Goodwill and then go out to dinner.
We've been known to do that, too.
Yeah. But no, I'm bored of folding shirts. That will always be our bread and butter, I think, is the shirts. But I'm like, okay, let's change it up. What else can we do? Trying to get creative.
Right.
That's why you guys sit down and watch all these videos. Like I've told somebody in the groups, somebody was complaining that they said eBay was screwing the sellers again. Did one of those type of posts. And I said, how can you say that when you got people that are doing videos telling you what they sell, giving you basically a bolo of what to look out for? And they're like, well, I don't watch videos for more than 10 minutes or whatever. How long they say, what did I say? You're losing out when you want to miss an hour-long video of somebody doing 100 items that they sold.
Yeah,
what to look for.
That's one of my favorite things to watch is the sales updates from YouTubers that are resellers.
Well, and as I've said before, I have antique envy from people who live back east. They find all these awesome antiques. I'm like, yeah, don't come to Utah looking for antiques. None.
See, you need to open an antique store, Heather.
You have to wait for someone to die around here to get any antiques. It's so sad. They're just not around. And
yeah.
no, that would be a lot of fun. That's a lot to learn. Not that I can't, but that would be something that would definitely be a lot to learn about.
Yeah.
Like I said, I really liked the thrift store or the consignment store. I sold crafts back in the 90s. I've mentioned that before and got to know lots of people. But no, I think what it is with resellers, what I've noticed is, you know, y'all work like 60 hours a week. It's just that you don't do it during 9 to 5 kind of hours.
Yeah, lots of flexibility there.
You work more than 40 hours.
Well, usually when you love something, you don't really know what amount of time you're putting into it. You just do it.
Yeah, exactly.
What is going on?
We have about 5 minutes to go, so I think, Tonya, you got to get ready to go over and join Dwayne for the show. So I guess we'll be able to end this now.
All right, thank you so much for having me.
Well, thanks for being on. If you guys like what we talk about, hit that like button. I saw there was only, 16 likes when we got over, 40 viewers. So hit that like button.
And it's good to see you.
Well,
you too.
And thank you, Heather, for being on.
Well, thanks for having me. Because, yeah, when Dwayne, he's like, Tanya's going to be talking about consigning. And I'm like, I know about consigning. He's like, I know. That's why I want you on it. So
I'm glad you joined us.
And, you know, Tonya and I could just chit-chat for days.
Oh, yes, we could.
evident for a while. Wade and I sat here in the side chat saying, I guess we're the eye candy.
Well, we didn't even get talking about menopause, so you should feel lucky.
Okay, well, with that, I think we end the show. And I will see you guys all next week when we have Silver Hair Stacker on talking about storage options, and maybe we can tie it into consignment shops. You never know. People go there and drop their stuff off when they make enough money. They want to get rid of their items. That's another place to go.
Absolutely.
So, thanks for watching, everybody, and we will see you next week. Get over to the Wayne's channel to watch Reseller 6-Pack.